Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa and guess what? We're back with an Overwatch patch update video. Now this one, well, we will address the Junkrat in a nappy or a diaper. Oh god. But before we do that, we need to take a look at these changes to Stadium because Tracer is getting nerfed, and I don't think that's going to be much of a surprise to most people, namely to her survivability, because she could get quite, well, unkillable, and it was, well, very annoying because she just dive you in the back, especially if you were playing support against her. Yeah, she just dive you in the back and take you out. And even like, I've been playing quite a lot of Soldier. I'm literally addicted to playing Soldier in Stadium. I do like playing Cassidy as well, but she, oh man, she's such a nightmare. Like, but anyway, that's just me being bad. Also, Freya gets a buff in Stadium because she's had the lowest win rate. Now, you may remember Freya was absolutely bonkers when she first went into Stadium. She had like a ridiculous one-shot kill combo. Her skill ceiling's mental, just crazy, right? She could do tons of damage. So, I mean, yeah, let's jump into this and take a look at these notes, because actually I think they're pretty good. So this is the Overwatch 2 retail patch notes for October the 1st, 2025. Stadium updates. Stadium competitive updates. Fixed an issue where players near Stadium rank convergence started to gain extremely low SP. We have adjusted the Stadium rank distribution curve to make it easier to reach elite rank for most players. We have made adjustments to reduce the amount of Stadium points lost when players lose a match, as each round won now provides a greater reduction in the overall point loss. We have made adjustments to the maximum and minimum amount of Stadium points that can be won or lost from a competitive match. In the developer comments, suggest the dynamic updates to Stadium Competitive have made progressing in the system feel more difficult as players are not finding their predicted ranks faster. We are making improvements to smooth out this experience and we'll keep a close eye as we head into Season 19. Okay, let's take a look at these individual hero changes. Now, we'll take a look at Freya first because she gets like a pretty good buff, but the devs are still quite wary. So they say this, dev comments, Freya has had the lowest win rate in Stadium for an extended period of time, so we're adding some more consistency to her builds to make her more competitive amongst the DPS roster. We are aware she has a very high damage ceiling in the right hands, so these changes are aimed at helping her consistency but not raise her damage ceiling or one-shot capabilities. So let's take a look at these changes here. So firstly, we've got some item changes, well, power changes I should say. So they've increased the effectiveness to 30% of, I cannot say any of these, but I'm going to try. Lilifeldi. I said that totally wrong. But anyway, they've increased the effectiveness to 30%, reduced effectiveness. This is up from 40% reduced effectiveness. Seismic shot, again a power, increased explosion radius, increased to 50%, up from 33%. That's actually a massive increase there. Like, what the hell? And I think that's Forager or Forager. I think it's Forager again. What the hell? It's going to destroy me. Freya and Nordic words. I don't think that's even a Nordic word. I'm just an idiot. They just destroy my brain. Increase max life heal per shot up to 5%. This was up from 4%. Deep pockets, I should say, is a power. Ammo restore on ability use increased to 40%. This is up from 25%. So again, a pretty decent increase there. And Volleyadeur, this is a power, increased damage on additional bolts to 50% reduced. This is up from 66% reduced. So I know they get a little bit complicated, a little bit convoluted, all of these changes in Stadium. But the takeaway from this is Freya is going to, well, it depends what powers you take, right? But she's going to have potentially more ammo. She's going to have more explosion radius as well. She's just going to be doing more damage, right? So it's going to make her... I think what they're trying to do is just increase her sort of moment-to-moment damage output or effective damage output, whatever you want to call this, rather than her like lethal damage output, one-shot combos, having like the ability to just cause a ton of damage instantly on a target and delete them from the game. They don't want that. They want her to just put out more damage, though, in the fight. I have noticed, though, playing against Freyas, they are quite vulnerable as well. But this, again, will be me playing like Soldier against Freya, which is probably one of the best counters to her, provided she doesn't one-shot you, which I don't know whether she kind of can, because obviously the devs have been looking at. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about these Freya changes. It's, yeah, I'm not the biggest Freya player. I think, again, this is harsh criticism, but Freya and Hazard are like almost non-existent heroes in my mind. Should I even say that? Oh, Lord. Let's talk about the Tracer nerf. So you've probably been terrorized by Tracer. Obviously, she was broke when she first went in Stadium. They had to disable her because she could just like she could sell her items and recall, and then like she got the refund from the items. It was stupid, and she could just get sorry, no, that ain't true. She didn't get the money back. She kept the stats. So she had like an item that gave her armor, and then she sold it and recalled. She'd get the armor back, but then would get the money for the item, so you could get the item again. It was just mental. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So developer comments on Tracer. Tracer's been performing well across the board. We're making it a bit harder for her to reach high amounts of health to make sure there is still risk involved in her engagements. We're also hitting some of her weapon-focused powers with a few buffs to her other builds. We'll be continuing to keep a very close eye on Tracer, as we know she has a very strong relationship with Stadium's stat increases. Yeah, so this is what they've done. Chronal Crux, which is the Stadium passive, now gains 35% less health, armor, and shields from items and cash. Previously, it was 25% less. Alternate Ending, which is a power, healing increased to 100% of damage taken, up from 75%. Blink of an Eye, which is a power, cooldown reduction reduced to 0.04 seconds. This is down from 0.05. Foresight, which is a power, auto aim reduced to 4 shots. This is down from 6. That one is a big nerf because Tracer, every Tracer takes that because it is guaranteed damage, and it is massive damage. I still think it's going to be good, but again, you know, Stadium, it is the more casual mode of Overwatch. It does have a lot of like auto aim abilities. I mean, Soldier's got auto aim, Cassidy's got auto aim after a roll. I think everyone's got auto aim basically if you DPS. Anyway, Temporal, which is a power, increase the portal's duration up to 8 seconds. This is up from 6. And Chrono Bomb, the epic ability hero item, increased ability power to 20%. This is up from 15, so you get 5 more there. However, they've increased the cost of this up to 10,500, and it used to be 10,000. So Tracer is getting essentially survivability nerfs here, so she should be a little bit easier to kill. However, she's getting a little bit of a nerf to her auto aim foresight power, which I think again most Tracers are taking that. But I still think that's going to be quite good because it's still 4 shots. Obviously, it ain't 6, so you can say this is like a 25% reduction in damage output with that ability, which I guess it kind of is. But it's still pretty good, or maybe a 20%, I should say. But it's still pretty good, I reckon. So yeah, Tracer's nerfed, but she's still probably going to be okay, I think. I don't think she's just going to totally be unusable. So Brig, this is a funky one because Brig benefited from a core game change. So, and again, I'm not going to be able to say this. I'm going to try, but I'm going to get it completely wrong. So dev comments are, Brig's damage buff to shield bash in the core game in the mid-season proved to be a large unintended damage buff for Skoldis Skradanig, and it's been overperforming. We're bringing down the bonus damage to be more in line with her other powers to ensure variety in her build path. So, Skoldiskarting, which is a power. Shield boomerang damage has been reduced to 40% of shield bash damage because before this was 60%, and also shield bash got better, so she benefited from that in a big way. So they're making a stadium-specific change here to that power to bring Brig a bit more in line, which, yeah, probably one of those reasons why Brig was doing, I guess, a ton of damage. She won't be doing that now. There's also an armory update, so general item updates. The Codebreaker, which is an epic general weapon item, the cost has been increased to 10,000. This is up from 9,000, so quite a big increase there on Codebreaker. Isn't that the one? That's the one that gives you extra damage to shields, isn't it? I think it is. No, it's the one to armor, isn't it? That's right. I always get confused between the two because it's generally quite good to take both of them sometimes, especially with Soldier. You want to just melt through a tank. But yeah, Codebreaker is the one that ignores 50% of armor's damage reduction and also gives you 15% weapon power. Okay, there's a bunch of bug fixes here. These are just for Stadium and the main game. So for the main game, Mercy has got a fix, which was fixing an issue with the animation and voice line of Mercy's ultimate in Overwatch Classic. And Wu Yang fixed an issue where Wu Yang's ultimate sometimes targeted closer enemies than intended. These are the map changes. So Atalis fixed an issue with the stairs in Atalis, and the map has been re-enabled. And Stadium-specific fixes are for Moira, fixed an issue where Moira's power optimal overflow spawned biotic orbs without reduced cooldown. Yep. Pharah fixed an issue where Pharah's triple volley rockets dealt more damage than intended. And Reinhardt fixed an issue where Reinhardt's power shield Stampede caused the camera to not lock in place during charge. And Soldier 76 fixed an issue where Soldier 76's power peripheral pulse didn't deal reduced damage to additional targets during tactical visor. Okay, let's address this Junkrat thing. So what's going on here is, I think maybe this is like long overdue, but Overwatch is hosting it's China specific, but it's a skin competition, which I believe the winner is going to be made into a skin and put into the game. Now, the theme of this is what would happen if there wasn't an Omnic crisis. Now, obviously, as you can imagine, this is just translated into Juno getting a lot of skins, Kiriko, I think, did Reinhardt get a lot of skins? Basically, all the popular heroes. Loads of people are making concept for those. The heroes that are not as popular and not really getting any skins, like Junker Queen, hasn't got many, which is kind of a bit sad. But Junkrat, I think this one is leading, according to what I can see on the internet. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, right? But Junkrat is like, he's got a diaper. What is going on? This apparently is one of the ones which is leading the charge. I don't know. This to me seems maybe not the best. But there's like a bunch of skins for Cassidy, like I said, Kiriko. I think there's some for Ramattra, loads for Wu Yang. Zen's got a bunch as well. Yeah, I'll just put a link in the video description below so you can go and check that out. But yeah, I guess it's to be expected. It's like insert jokes here about people wearing a nappy or a diaper playing Overwatch. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. So, yeah, I'm going back to play Stadium. I really enjoy Stadium. And I might actually try some comp. It's been a while. I'm actually getting found out by the progression system in the game because it doesn't include all of the playtime from Overwatch 1 and I think up to like season 9, I think, or 10 of Overwatch 2, which is where most of my playtime is. So I'm like looking at my account with like thousands of hours on like, I don't know, Reinhardt and Soldier or whatever. And it's just translating into like a level 12 account or something. I'm like, what? Maybe they'll retroactively give it us back because I think sometimes in Stadium, when you finish a game, I think it actually shows your correct rank and then it disappears. So I don't know what's going on. Not that it matters anyway. I just thought it was funny. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel for more and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. See you soon.